Hey everybody, welcome back to another Sofa Sermon. This is crazy. I'm back at church. These sofas are so much better than mine. Think how comfortable these are. This is so much fun. Nobody else is at church, so I can do whatever I want. And what I want to do the most is this. Put that on there. There we go. We have a microphone right here. Right here. I could touch him. And we have lights. Only see him. Anyway. I have to be more serious now. Okay. Just 1 minute. One second. Yeah! Woo! We're back! Oh. Feels so crazy to be back here actually at church. Yeah, it's great. These are so much more comfortable than mine. Seriously, 1 minute. I'll be right back. Well, now my excitement has slightly subsided. Let's get on to something a little bit more serious. And the big serious that I want to start off with is we're here at church, and that is thanks to you. The things that we've managed to buy, the things that we've managed to set up in here is thanks to everybody that gives on a Sunday and that takes part in all of the different things that we do, because without you guys, there would be no point in us doing this. And for every single person that watches this video, thank you very much. Now roll the intro and then we'll talk. I'll be serious after the intro. I promise. All right, I'll be serious. Okay, thank you. Welcome back to another Sofa Sermon, and lockdown continues to persist here in the UK, for the majority of people anyway. And I don't know about what you've been doing during lockdown, but one of the big things I've been doing during lockdown is this. And whilst doing that, I have seen loads of different friendships in loads of different television shows. For those of you that know me, and I should have put a shirt on to represent this today, but I didn't. My favourite TV show, maybe ever, it's a big toss-up, but maybe ever, is Doctor Who. And the Doctor that travels, obviously, in Doctor Who, always travels with companions. And we see this throughout so many television programmes. There are absolutely just nameless amounts of them. To name a few, we've got like Starsky and Hutch, Morse and Lewis, Lewis and Hathaway, Holmes and Watson, Peralta and Santiago, if you want something a bit newer. We've got Sheldon and Leonard. You know, all of these things are based upon one thing, and that one thing is friendship. And it's crazy to see how these fictional characters can make you feel the friendship that is obviously sometimes there, but sometimes also not there. And obviously they're not maybe, they're not real characters, unfortunately. Please, time machine. No, okay, fine. But, they're not real characters, but they really do make you feel like they are, and they can. That's what makes them such good TV programs. And at the heart of all of these things is friendship, and friendship is something that humans are created for. We are created to be together in relationship, and it's why God made us. And we need to be making sure that we're continuing to keep up with these friendships, obviously during this very difficult time where we can't meet together and do all of the normal things that we probably would with our friends if we were able to meet them. So I want to prompt a small thinking time here, and you can pause the video if it takes you a while to think about these. But number one, who are your real friends? What are they like? Are they like you, or are they completely different? What made you want to be that friend, their friend in the first place? It may be something just, completely random. It may be something weird that happened. You may have a funny story to share, and if you do, leave it in the comments below. I always love reading comments about people's funny stories of how they met or became friends. And what memories do you share with that person? Because ultimately, that's what connects us most with our friends. It's when they've been there for us during difficult times, or while something funny happened, or, again, funny stories of how people met, or anything like that. It's the memories that keep us being friends with those people quite often. Now, somebody's probably raging at me in the comments down below because I haven't mentioned anything here about the Bible. I've referenced secular television shows, and I've referenced probably spending way too much time on the sofa during lockdown, but I haven't said anything about the Bible. I'm going to change that now. Do not panic. John 15 verse 15 says, "I no longer call you servants." And then a little bit later on in that same bit, he says, "I call you friends." And that's Jesus talking to his disciples. So when I asked you those questions, probably only a minute ago, but it could have been a bit longer if you decided to pause the video, whose first thought was Jesus? Because I don't think mine was. When I was thinking about who my friends were, who my real friends are, and, all of these different questions that I posed a minute ago, it went to my earthly friends, to people that I spend time with every day and that I can see. But my mind should have gone to Jesus, and in a little way, I was convicted at that moment. I want to talk about the majority of these shows. These people that I've mentioned, obviously some of them are sitcoms, but quite a lot of them involve an element of mystery about what's going on. And I've loved these kind of shows for a long time, and they follow the same pattern if you've seen these shows. So I always split these shows, particularly like crime dramas or something like that, into 3 parts. Number 1, crime is committed, okay? Number 2, investigate the crime. And number 3, finale. Now, generally, number 1 and number 2 follow the same kind of, somebody died or this crime was committed, we're going to look into it, this is how we're going to do it, get phone records, what, blah, 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 blah. And then number 3 is often quite the same as well, because if you've seen these programs, you'll know what's coming up now of, there's a pairing, the main characters of the show, and then one of them gets taken by the killer or the mystery or whatever, and they're left on their own, separated from the other person, and the other person, a part of that duo, has to figure it out as soon as they can, and then they come rushing, and there's some intense music, and you know what I'm talking about. They're playing like Mission Impossible theme, and they're just running down the road trying to get to them as fast as they possibly can to save this other person that is part of the duo, part of the friendship that probably makes the majority of these programs what they are. Because if we're being realistic, if we watch these programs and one part of that duo, whomever it may be, is no longer in that program, it's not really the same. I mean, taking my example, for those of you who have seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine, what if there was Jake Peralta just eating donuts and not joking with anybody because there wasn't anybody else in the show? That would make for terrible television, and I probably wouldn't watch it. Maybe I would watch it, but I probably wouldn't watch it, because the reason I watch it is to see him joking around and his relationship with all of the different other characters that are in the TV show, and that's what makes it what it is. And so it's very important that both parts of this, are as equally important to one another, because if there was one without the other, it just wouldn't be what it is. Ecclesiastes 4 verse 9 says something very, very simple. It says 2 are better than 1. Now, often this is obviously referenced at things like weddings and having relationships with people. And this is what friendship is. It's about having a relationship, whether it be, a romantic relationship, but particularly just friendship is what I want to talk about. It's often referenced that, 2 become 1 when we get married and things like that. But it also really stuck out to me that right now in the world, the devil is winning. And I hate to say it, but he is. The devil is winning. In some cases, our friends are in a situation of being stuck at the end of that crime episode. One part of the friendship, whether it be you or whether it be somebody else that you're friends with, is stuck and has been captured by the evil killer that is Corona. But it's not just coronavirus that's making these things. It's things like fear, anxiety, loneliness. All of these things are taking hold of friends of ours, of friends of mine, and we have to be the other part of that duo at the end of that crime drama, whilst all the intense music is playing, figuring it out as fast as we can to get to them, to save them. So, for example, somebody that I know is feeling very lonely right now, obviously, because they live together on their own and they can't go out and see other people. It's a bit, it sucks. I agree. But I have to be that friend, and they are being sort of taken hostage almost by this fear, anxiety, loneliness, all of these things. And I have to be that friend that is rushing to them at the end of the episode when the intense music is playing to save them, because that's what you're supposed to do. And it's not because, I don't do it just because that's what I'm supposed to do. I do it because I know that that's right. And it's not just movies that have said that. The Bible talks so many times about encouraging other people. So what I'm trying to say is that at the end of all of this, evil seems to be winning. But that is not how stories end the majority of the time. And we need to be there for one another to encourage one another in everything that is going on. So as different members of our friendship group are, taken hostage by anxiety, fear, and loneliness, we need to be there to stand with them and to rescue them from that hostage. So I hope this brought a little bit of something into your day. I hope that you can be there for your friends and for those members of your family that are struggling at this time, as I am here for you. If you want to leave a comment in the comments below or get in contact with me with any way that you know how to, and I will be there to talk to anybody that needs to. And if you are one of those people that is really, really struggling with any of those feelings right now, then please reach out to your friends, and reach out particularly to your Christian friends, because as Christians, we are supposed to be there for you. And if you are one of those Christians that is trying to be there for people, then do it right and be there for them when they need you the most right now. Amen.